What's happening, family? It is your man, CRP Jr., Courtney Robert Brown Jr. here at Motown Mafia Show. Of course, it is a Big Boss Filmworks production. To my side is the man, the myth, the legend, Brother Lou, Big Lou, known in some circles. How you doing, fam?
Man, I'm loving life, bro.
That's a good thing, man. You're busy around here. The engine of Big Boss.
I am doing what I said I was gonna do when I left out of St. Mary's of Redford High School. Let's just say that. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And I must say, thanks to this man. True.
Okay. Right. You got directors and
Yes.
in Atlanta waiting on you. You got investors and financiers in Miami waiting on you. You got actresses in Los Angeles who've been assigned roles.
Till the next episode.
Watch Fight Night. Just a little tick. Just saying. I'm just saying.
That's right. But no, I'm really excited for what's to come. The Beyond Street Dreams is in full steam, and you guys are gonna love it.
Yeah, we're proud of it. I know it's been a minute. We've been doing the promo talk, but yeah, greatness takes a minute. We want to put out a product that is representative of this story, of the legend, of what Eddie the Fat Man Jackson set into motion, what my pops was able to piggyback off of what Eddie did, and what the rest of the crew and just the journey, obviously not just the Jackson and Brown family, but a shout out to Brother Pep, Brother Skip, the whole Mongo family,
There you go.
Brother KK, the whole situation, man.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Albano at Gear Unlimited. Shout out to Young Choi down in Atlanta, because we're gonna hit all of that. This story gonna take you from Prince to Bobby Brown,
From Boston
to Boston and Benzino,
the Bahamas.
to the Bahamas. It's just Mike Epps,
The scale of this.
to
one is
Cheryl
huge.
Underwood,
Yes.
to Morris Day,
Yes.
to TK Kirkland, to Vanity Six,
Yeah, Chris Tucker.
from Cheryl Underwood, to Apollonia,
Yes.
to Chris Tucker, to Bo Jackson, to Johnny Gill, to the Kimmy Matumbo,
Matumbo, rest in peace.
rest in peace, to Vince Carter, Vinsanity, It Don't Stop, to
Ben Horowitz.
Ben Horowitz. Shout out to the big boss of Silicon Valley. For those who are into that, on his A16,
Oh, yeah.
him and his man,
Yeah, Dreesen Horowitz.
I mean,
Yeah.
do you know the number? To show you, because we're going to get to this. The X is a good segue in, because we're going to be talking about these Negroes in our community that's supposed to be bosses, and some of the people that you've met
Yes.
in this journey.
Yes, yes.
As you met and had lunch, we were trying to do some things with Ben's dad. Shout out to David Horowitz.
Yes.
Do you know what Andrews and Horowitz have under management?
No, what?
65 billion.
Oh, that's a good number.
That's a good number.
That's a very good
And that takes us back in to these supposed Negro bosses.
This is your friends now. These are your friends.
Who?
$65 billion.
$65 billion. So when I
Yes,
tell
yes.
y'all that these Negroes that y'all think is bosses, I know they bosses. And you know what they never have told me? Courtney, for your projects, what you really should do is go find you some of those rapper guys, the ones that are all on the internet. That's who you need to help build your entertainment business. That's who you need to be partnering with for your movies. Find the guys who get paid to spit. And if you partner with them, but I'm being facetious, but I'm not. I was first to say, shout out to when 50 brought the BMF story to life. That was a good thing. It and I still think that was a good thing. You would almost say some other things about what I think about. With temper that my window is a social media window.
Yes.
So what I'm seeing this thing through a social media window. But yeah, it's a great thing that the BMF story has been out. It's a great thing that Epic has Godfather of Harlem
Yeah.
out. It's a great thing that Peacock has Fight Night out.
Yes. Yes.
Now, what we talking about is this internet beef, which ain't no internet beef between Mr. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, Mr. Rick Rose Ross, and Demetrius Big Meech Flannery, and I guess his brother gets thrown into the mix, the great Southwest team.
Southwest.
And it seems, according to the very reliable internet streets, that 50 Cent is mad at Meech because Meech been seen hanging out with Ross, and supposedly they were supposed to be giving a welcome home concert to Meech.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to throw 50 under the bus because I don't know all the facts, so I'm going to say everything I'm going to do, I'm going to qualify. If it's true,
Allegedly.
if it's true that 50 Cent in any way would attempt to sabotage a Meech concert, I guess it's not allegedly that, let me say, I ain't got no problem with 50. I said, me and 50 only had one interaction. We were both at King Sana.
Yes.
About 3-4 years ago. That nigga shushed me. I don't hold that against you, 50, because it was about 4 in the morning, and we were at King Sana in New Jersey, and I just looked up, and 50's a big guy.
Right.
And he could see that I was like, oh, fuck, that's 50. And I was about to say,
What up, 50?
what up, 50? And he was on the phone, so I held it together. He was like, shh. And I did think to myself then, but I'm about to say, nah, nigga, you ain't that special. Fuck you shushing me for. You shush them other niggas who ain't never had no money.
Right.
Nigga, when you was robbing motherfucking crack dealers, we was handling them. What the fuck wrong with you? Shushing me. But I ain't say nothing. And I do like the boy's music. Always did like his music.
Oh, yeah.
And I ain't trying to burn no bridges now. But I'm going to say this, Lou. So whatever I say, 50 and dope people, never hold it against Big Boss. But if you do, guess what? It'll be all right. Because we go round where I come from. We do what we got to do.
Regardless.
What Dame said in Reasonable Doubt, you think I'm going to let some rapper stop me from getting money? You do remember that line?
I do remember that line. Yes.
I don't know what type of Negroes we dealing with now. There's somebody who get on stage and run around and spit verses just because you good at that. Now that make you a boss, and I'm supposed to do what you say and follow behind you? How? Now that might work for other people, but it ain't gonna work. So I get, so anyway, supposedly,
Okay.
me, 50 saw Meech hanging out with Ross, and him and Ross got some kind of issue with each other. It's been well documented.
Okay.
Now, what I do want to clarify for the family, and I would love you guys' insights and opinion on this, and before we get too far down the line, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. We are growing. We are also on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook.
Patreon.
We got some special stuff on Patreon also. What are those handles?
Big Boss Filmworks on everything, but Big Boss Filmworks, patreon.com/Big Boss Filmworks.
Meech did the time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw this out to all these other content creators. And I know I'm speaking to a select people who might even understand what I'm talking about. 20 years, if 2 decades behind bars ain't enough street credibility for you, I don't know what they want.
Right.
Okay?
That's a long time.
Y'all people on the internet, and I'm talking to friend and foe. I got paperwork. You don't know what your paperwork is. I grew up in the middle of the biggest indictment. The first time wiretaps or any of that stuff was used was my pop and Eddie's case back in the 70s. Right. I've been talking to lawyers and hearing about conspiracies and who's a snitch and who not a snitch since I was 8 years old. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. Only people who really know what happened with a case is that person and the U.S. Attorney's Office. So getting on the internet talking about I got this document, I got that document, you don't got nothing. You got a piece of paper with some ink, crafted by some people for all types of motives of which you're not privy to. You know how you only as we was talking off camera. If me and you do some dirt here on 7 Mile,
That's right.
and the only two people who know the bag is in the back is me and you,
Yeah.
and then I get pinched, and they find that bag in the back,
Right.
and only me and you here,
You already know.
then I know,
Right.
then I can say, okay, you know what? Lou rolled on me.
Right.
But if me and you was doing dirt, you knew the bag was in the back, Al knew the bag was in the back, Eddie Baby knew the bag was in the back, my woman knew the bag was in the back, my ex-wife knew the bag was in the back, and then the police find the bag, I can't say Lou told on me. Even if the paperwork suggested you did. Because the paperwork, guess what, could be wrong. Because guess what, maybe they got the wrong sources. Because guess what, when real snitches start snitching, they say all kind of lies.
It's true.
So y'all need to cut that out. Matter of fact, if you're not involved in organized crime, you should not care whether someone told or didn't tell. But I'm going to tell you this. At 60 years old, having been raised in a house at the highest level of organized crime, I ain't never known nobody who talked to did 20 years. Matter of fact, the reason why niggas was talking was not to do 20 years.
It was not to do 20 years, right? Like your man Schoolyard George.
Well, what's that saying? It's different, right? Schoolyard gonna just tell a man, look, I got 20 covered. Come on, I don't like cold weather.
Right.
But that's stand up.
Mm-hmm.
If Meech and T and them was looking for an easy way out, that was pre-sentencing.
That's right.
You don't cop to a 30-year plea, then become a snitch.
I've been hearing this talk.
But this the part that angered me, Lou. Long as he was in jail, he wasn't. Everything was good.
Yeah.
And Meech the homie from Detroit and all that. But whether it was a homie from Detroit or not, this bloodlust to tear up the man's image and name, which didn't exist till he got home and would have a chance to enjoy the celebrity. It just seemed to me everybody, and you YouTubers been eating, it go back, I guess. There's just no COVID. And I'm old, and I need to accept that I live in different times. Because the world I come from, I just don't make money exploiting your name positively. And then when the wind blows,
Right. Then I switch up.
then I switch up on you. But I think it's a lot of life lessons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the reality that people like to see you, that a lot of the people that are influential in our community,
Right.
just because you're famous doesn't make you a boss. Just because you're famous doesn't make you a good or ethical person. And I come from a day to where a man's character was more important than his wallet. You couldn't be a boss just because you had a lot of money. You couldn't be a boss just because you were popular and people knew your name.
That's right.
Your character and how you treated people dictated being a boss.
Because all money is a magnifying glass. It's going to show
Who you really is.
It's who
So
you really
so
is.
if I'm willing to praise you when you locked up, and I'm your only lifeline, but then you get out and you start expressing your God-given right to do business who you see fit to do business with, and I got a problem again. Let me call. I don't know if this is true. The things about rats being put up on certain people's social media, that's kind of documented. That's in cyber history. I don't get that. I don't get when there's so much money to be made. Also, I guess maybe most disturbing, that supposed among leaders, and I know I'm not suggesting that 50 Cent or Mr. Ross are leaders in our community. I think they're both very talented entertainers, and I would keep it right there. They're both very talented.
Of course.
They're both very talented entertainers. But just because you're a good entertainer doesn't make you a leader, doesn't even make you a great business person. I think both of them can take some credit as being very good businessmen on a certain level. They're not managing 65 billion in assets, but they're good business.
Yeah.
You know, from where they started to where they've gotten, I think both of them need to be. But my spin on it is, and I'm gonna give away my game for free. Meech doesn't need 50 Cent. Meech doesn't need Rick Ross. Meech is the actual story. The public is enamored with that BMF series and with the Meech and T and the BMF lifestyle. The public would watch that show whether G Unit produced it
That's right.
or whether Sally Weinberg produced it. That story works because it's a great story. Meech and T's exploits, where they came from and where they got and how they influence pop culture. And I know, man to man, the quickest way to the bag might have assumed or might seemed like hooking up with one of them guys.
Right.
But again, I'm gonna get this game for free. There's 1,000 promoters, some that look like us, some that don't. 1,000 agents that with your story and your notoriety, you can get to the money. I was just running a number. What'd I say? Are there 50 podcasters in America that would pay Meech $10,000 for an interview? Well, 50 podcast interview times 50 people at 10,000. If you run the math, family, that's $500,000.
That's right.
I know there's 50 podcasters that would pay Meech $10,000 because we one of them.
That's right.
Big Boss would gladly give that man that fee, and he can get a lot more from a lot other platforms.
That's right.
You can't tell me that.
Not to mention clubs, just to have you grace him with his presence or whatnot.
I told you back when I was consulting my big homie Mr. Moore down at the White House.
Right.
We was paying Tommy, the white boy from Dollar.
Joseph Sikora.
We paying him $10,000 just to do a walkthrough at the club.
See?
Lil Meech was getting that damn near to do walkthroughs after one season at BMF. So if the actor playing a gangster, Tommy can get 10,000.
10,000.
If Little Meech pretending to be Big Meech can get 10,000 for walkthroughs.
How much can the real thing?
How much can the real thing get? Now I know that might mean some grinding. That might mean hitting the chitlin circuit. If all these other people can get in sponsorships for their podcast, you're telling me that the Big Meech and T podcast can't find some corporate sponsorship?
No question.
I salute Joe Button. I salute Drink Champs, what Nori and his man EFN is doing.
Mm-hmm.
I salute Gilly and Wallow
Yep.
at $1 Million Worth of Game.
Yeah.
And many more. I salute our friend and associate Al Prophet at American Dope.
Salute.
But ain't none of y'all famous as Meech.
Sure.
Meech and T more famous than all them people I just named in our culture together.
Mm-hmm. No question.
So I think Meech and T, you guys need to really think about, guys got to really know your value. You got to know your worth. In this new world, and I know Meech just been home for a minute, and T just been able to travel because he just got pardoned, and now he ain't stuck on house arrest and all that. So now they can Melly make some moves, and
Right on.
Meech got another year. But I wasn't gonna speak on it, but it disturbed me how giddy people got about this silly stuff. And for real, if you're not in that life, stop talking about snitches and rats. People don't know what you're talking about. You don't. And you YouTubers and quote unquote influencers, you just play yourself. Because I know it impresses all the people who don't know anything, but you make yourself look silly. Because all the real guys know. Don't nobody know. I've been dealing with Pop's lawyers, and in this last case, doing the vetting for the lawyers, and you're reading through the indictments and the paperwork, and in our case, making fearful that a superseding indictment might be coming that you're a part of. Man, when you live it, it's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know I'm a little too close to it, so I know it's all fun and games on the internet, it looks like. But hey, be mindful, guy. That guy did 20 years, man.
20 years.
And y'all should put a little more respect on that man's name.
Yeah.
Unless you got hard evidence. And what a guy who locked up, who ain't said nothing until Meech got out or until Meech got a TV show, ain't had no problem with whatever they business did. That is what it is. And the broad, who was fucking the DEA, BMF, St. Louis crew, now you gonna take her word? That was what really set me off. You know, now 50 gonna bring this dingbat broad and say, listen to her. Since when you niggas start listening to what the hookers say? So now the OnlyFans girl, now she got credibility. And I like the OnlyFans girls. Don't get me wrong. I do.
No offense to any.
No offense. Yeah, because they're with you YouTubers. But my OnlyFans friends, this is not a direct shot to you ladies. It's not. I don't have any problem with you girls earning a living, except for when it comes to legal matters, of which then your opinions,
Right.
you know. But on that, so you got Fight Night,
Mm-hmm.
you got Godfather Harlem,
That's right.
and you got BMF, right?
Yeah.
Now, we know through some of our friends, shout out to Ray Tatum getting off Zero, and brother Tyrone
Stevens.
Tyrone Stevens, he was on the pod, great episode talking about the confidence game. He's, of course, a friend of Chicken Man. He was a friend of the real Chicken Man, the guy that Kevin Hart plays, right?
Yes.
Chicken Man ain't getting no money out of Fight Night.
Yeah.
Frank Morton, who's played by Samuel L. Jackson, I ain't seen the Morton family and none of them people getting producer points.
Mm-hmm.
Godfather of Harlem, shout out to Forrest Whitaker and them. They do a great job. But Bumpy Johnson's family ain't getting no money out of that. BMF, Little Meech, I guess, got a little something, a couple episodes pay.
Uh-huh.
But from my perspective, for those of us who've lived it and now all these other people get to make the money off of the stories of the game and that lifestyle and how it impacted the culture. I'm telling y'all, Meech T, y'all don't need nobody. Simon and Schuster, Penguin Books, more game for free. Sit down, talk to some people who don't look like us. Y'all bag ain't that far away. You know, and I know when you want the money quick, we sometimes do things that we shouldn't do. But you guys should not play yourself. And this is the same thing I've been telling the rest of the family, my friends in YBI, different other cliques from Harlem that we deal with and things. You know, our way seems slow, right?
Yeah.
Because we doing this shit with us,
With us.
right?
Yeah.
And we finally found some other people to network with. And when you are doing it independent, this is what Dame been saying forever. You know, G-Unit don't own stars. It's on stars. Okay, let's be clear about that.
It's true.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If the world is right and just, on some project that's about BMF, at the end of it, it should say executive producer, Southwest T. Executive producer, Demetrius Flannery. Anything beyond that, something didn't went tragically wrong.
And I can think about how many countless times, and I mean, we had this conversation before this was being recorded, when we talked about like people who come to us and tell us, you need to holler at 50 about y'all's story. You need to holler at this person.
Talk to 50 Cent, talk to
Tyler
Tyler
Perry.
Man, I waited my life waiting on 50 Cent or Tyler Perry to do something for me. First of all, we don't suffer from the celebrity worship. No. And I guess, as you'll see in the movie, having been the one who paid some people, some of the high-profile people, you know me, we ain't gonna say those names, but you remember there was a person we were doing business with, because we know we do have a little Mike Epps anecdote. We were the first people to bring Mike Epps to town.
Yeah.
And you know, in the course of doing this project, you need to go see Mike Epps. You need to go meet him at the club. And I had to find. I like Mike Epps as a comedian, but I'm like, what I look like running behind him? Send that nigga an email. If he holler back, he holler back.
Holler back.
If he don't, he don't.
Seriously.
For real. And I guess I got a little person. I was like, I go from the man who was paying him and he asking me for this and asking me for that. And there's no shade on Mike. Mike was a great eye. He crushed.
Mike is the man.
He crushed the show back in the 90s when we brought him to town. I saw his talent early. Not surprised at all by the heights he rose to.
But seriously, how he looked up.
How he looked up. As Skip put it best, what he said was backstage at the Morris Day Prince concert, and Morris Day comes up to the suite. Some silly broad come to him talking about, you guys need to come meet Morris Day. And Skip say, him and his brother said, no, you need to tell Morris Day to come meet us.
Exactly.
There is a hierarchy to this, and just because you got a bunch of teenage girls screaming your name, that ain't what create the hierarchy. You ever seen that movie called The Craze? Not the two English gangsters? The Craze.
Oh no, The Craze, yeah.
The Craze.
I saw the old one and a new one.
And the newer one. The newer
Yeah,
one.
the newer one was with Tom Hardy.
And that was in like the 90s?
No, it was set in the 60s.
It's set in the 60s, but when did the movie come out?
It came out like not even 10 years ago.
Right? Because there's a line in The Craze, because they're big time British gangsters, right?
Yeah.
And it's a line there, and there was some people, and they're like, do you know the Beatles? And he's like, no, but they know us. I'm just saying, y'all. You know what I mean? For real.
Yeah.
You know, I get disappointed.
It does.
The celebrity worship too.
Right. And now actually being in this arena, it does amaze me how many people know who we are. You know what I'm saying? That we had no idea that they did.
Facts.
I mean, it you know, so it's all respect to everybody, but there will be no brown nosing and there will be no ass kissing.
No, because if we ain't do that to the people who managing 65 billion, I don't think I'm about to start kissing ass to the rapper to the hip hop community. Right. I don't think it works that way.
Some days to the hip hop.
Oh no, I would love to do business with anybody if it's good business. Mm-hmm. Right? I think the key is this: you should want to do good business. So this is not a shot. It is a shot at celebrity worship, but it's not the celebrity's fault that our culture has become so enthralled. This social media thing has just because it's become an attention. Where they say attention is currency.
Yes,
but attention is not currency. Currency is currency.
Currency is currency.
You can't spend your likes at the supermarket unless you learn how to monetize.
To quote a hip hop artist, probably one of the best out of Detroit now, Bodie James, he said, "I'd rather have $1 million than 1 million followers."
Facts. So that was it. We just had to chime in. On that. I mean, so best of luck to Meech and T and to the whole BMF family. Mr. Ross and Mr. 50 Cent Jackson, they're going to do what they do. Again, you guys should remember, their beef ain't like real. Like, the world we come from, it'd be real beef. Like, people get shot, killed, and hurt. It don't be internet or he said something on a song. These guys it ain't that. We need to, so two things we need some clarifications on in 2025.
Snitching
and beefing.
For real.
Because if you are saying slick shit on records, that ain't really beefing.
Biggie made a song about it. What's beef?
What's beef? That's exactly it. What's beef? Right. And beef ain't I'm waiting for your album to drop to hear what you said about me.
Right.
50 and Ross know where each other live at, stay at. They obviously ain't really beefing. Nor should they be. They're both successful businessmen. They should, the fact that they're even, once you go with 50, man, you gotta leave all that tough guy shit alone, man. You know what I mean? And just stop it. They fuck around, have a heart attack fighting each other, shooting at each other. Arthritis been saying he's talking crazy. I beat him, bang bang. Oh, it's fine. What else going on? Anything else we need to talk about on this? This is episode 74.
This is episode 74.
Long way coming. Long way coming.
Definitely. And as far as anything else, I will plug my mother's book.
Go ahead.
Knocks Out Cancer.
Go ahead, give him the plug on that.
Check it out on Amazon. And it's at KarenKnocksOutCancer.com. My mother is a 36-year cancer survivor.
Salute.
And
Did you bring the books? I got 2 more to give out.
oh yeah, I forgot to bring the books. Yeah.
Because on that, man, every time I tell people, it is such a scourge.
Yes.
And then, you just be talking to people and they, so anytime I hear somebody knows somebody who's going through a similar situation, I'm like, I got a book you got to read.
And forgive
people
me,
be needing inspiration.
all day. It's a 33-year survival. And it was done without chemo for radiation. So yes, definitely tell your friends, tell your family if you know somebody suffering from the enemy cancer. Hit us up, KarenKnocksOutCancer.com.
All right, and last but not least, if you guys don't know, before you see our next projects, get caught up on some of our old projects. This is the book Motown Mafia, Memoirs of a Kingpin's Kid, wrote by yours truly, produced by yours truly. The story of Eddie Jackson and Courtney Brown. Of course, this book led to, and it is available at Amazon and on BigBossFilmWorks.com. This led to the award-winning documentary Motown Mafia, the story of Eddie Jackson and Courtney Brown. Oh, shout out to Uncle Butch too. Butch sister, we got to get Uncle.
Yeah, we got to do another run through on the city, me and Borge.
Yeah, love you to death, folks. The award-winning documentary Motown Mafia, inspired from this book. It's available on Amazon Prime. It's available on Tubi. It's available on Pluto. Winner of Best True Crime Documentary, LA New York Film Festival, nominated Best True Crime Story and Documentary, Martha's Vineyard Film Festival, Bronze Lens, and many others. So you don't know, really get up to date with this. You might know why I talk the way I talk, and we say the things we say. Why? Oh, shout out to my brother over there at Real True Street Crimes.
Baby.
Check out Eddie Baby. AKA in some circles, in the YBI era known as Haba. Not to be confused with Jabba.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yep, and all that. And rest in peace. Shout out to Scott Sledge and the whole Sledge family in your still time of mourning. But beyond that, so yeah, we the dot, Beyond Street Dreams coming, working hard. Some other scripted stuff being scripted.
Things are being scripted. Things are being produced.
And all of the above. Can't wait till we get a little further down the road. But soon enough, guys. Soon enough
to talk about this year.
Yeah, because I think with all the things I was just saying, Lou, in the end, I think we can show them
better we can tell.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, I think that's about it. Right. Episode 74, Motown Mafia show, Big Boss Filmworks production. One last time, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all you guys' support. If you're gonna watch, it'll give us away. It don't cost you nothing. Just hit the like button, man. Share it to somebody who you might think might be interested. It helps the algorithm. We are serious melanated men around here, and we just trying to combat, to quote the brother O'Shea Duke Jackson, because the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. We just trying to give a little balance to this thing.
Absolutely.
We can't all be a clown. Yes. We want to own the circus.
It's alarmingly goofy out there.
We want to own the circus. The biggest circus owner in American history was a guy by the name of P.T. Barnum. There's a great book actually called Getting Money. But don't confuse being a clown with owning the circus.
That's right. For real. All day.
If you ain't seen your clown suit lately, you might want to check it because you might be wearing it. You don't see a clown suit in your closet. Be careful, because you might be wearing it. But anyway, it's your man, CRB Jr., with his man, Big Lou Stevens. Holla at us. Appreciate you guys.
Much love.
Peace.
We never worried about getting caught by the local or state authorities. Our fear was always federal conspiracy case. Not even really a possession case. You weren't gonna catch us with it. If the local cops can catch you, you're not very good. Because the only people the local cops catch are people who are advertising they're doing wrong. But you gotta understand that the level Pop and them was playing at, they wake up in the morning thinking about how to get away with their hustle. They go to bed at night thinking about how to get away with their hustle. They spend all afternoon rehearsing and going over how to get away with their hustle. It's not a hobby.
Beyond Street Dreams. Documentary coming soon to Amazon Prime, Tubi, and Pluto TV.